Hello everyone. We have Swarnava here, who's gotten selected in Capgemini. He's also given other few companies, which we'll talk about in other videos. But in this case, we'll be talking about Capgemini 6.5 LPA package, right? Swarnava. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Could you please tell us a little bit about your background? Which branch are you from?
I'm from IT department,
Okay.
and I wasn't actually very good in coding.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was able to do all the like lab sessions, everything that I could do. But for like product-based companies that competitive
You
programming, I didn't do.
you
So
did not know competitive programming and core data structures and all.
I
Ah,
I knew in moderate level, but not up to the level of like Google or Microsoft companies. So I
perfect.
wasn't very confident about them. So from third year, I invested a lot. Actually, this lockdown helped, so
Mm-hmm.
I could invest a lot in like aptitude and reasoning, all that
That,
stuff.
that that is most important. What a lot of people do mistake is they start studying competitive coding, and it's
Yeah,
not actually very necessary if you are not aiming for companies that pay you more than 7 8 LPA and so on and so forth. If you are aiming for, let's say, service based companies or packages between 4 to 8 LPA, you just need to
yeah,
clear out your basics. The aptitude is the most important thing there, and then data
yes,
structure, C++ and DBMS. So these are the skills that are required, right? So
yeah,
coming to the Capgemini part, obviously there was a game-based aptitude test,
yes.
right? I think you must have checked our video on YouTube, and
Yes,
that is
yes,
a that
yes.
is a
Actually, at
hmm,
that time, I think Capgemini was the first one to announce their hiring process.
correct.
So there were a lot of videos about everyone because it was a completely new process. So
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
everyone was
hmm.
talking about the gaming round and everything. And actually, fortunately, I am a big fan of Sudoku. So one of the rounds was like Sudoku, the shape-based one.
Hmm, hmm.
So that helped me because I scored well in that. And other for other rounds also, I watched Prep Insta videos also to prepare
Okay.
to
So
know the process.
actually, a lot of people think that game-based aptitude round is easy because actually you have to play games, but
Yeah,
actually it's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's about speed. It's about accuracy. It's about you performing better than 80% of the people. So it's
yes.
even if you take 1 second longer, you may not get selected on average.
In my opinion, out of
Huh.
all the tests which I have given, I think the game based was the toughest. Out of all.
Not so. For example, if anybody gives you the same question to solve in 5 minutes, you can, but if you solve that in
Yes,
20 seconds, and
exactly. And actually, there was no break after because after
correct,
each round, the next one began like
immediately,
immediately.
right?
And it was we have to focus so much because one of the questions it was about the memory, so we had to remember where the dots were.
Hmm, hmm,
Like
hmm,
there were
hmm.
hundreds of dots and one was marked and then they would show another.
Got it,
So it
got
was
it.
very challenging, it was strenuous for the
So there
mind.
was there was pseudocode as well. There was English communication as well, and behavioral competency, which was like 100 questions, and then strongly agree, disagree, and all of
Yeah,
those kind of things.
yeah, after I think the
Hmm.
first was Pseudocode, so there was elimination of after that. Then there was English. uh, After that also there was elimination, and then was the gaming round.
Hmm.
uh, so after each round there was elimination, but the psychometric, the behavior, after that there was no elimination.
Okay. So how many people gave the test from your college approximately? The first
Approximate,
pseudocode.
I think five around 400 to 500 people
And
were there.
and how many people sat for the interview approximately?
I would say 300.
So out of
No,
400
interview. Sorry, interview.
interview.
Interview there was 82 students.
Okay, so again 20%, top 20%, as I said.
Yeah,
So you have to be better than other 80% of the people.
yeah.
Okay, how many people got selected finally?
16.
60. So again, if you sat for interviews, you have a very high chance of getting selected.
No, sir. 16.
16.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Actually,
that's
they reduced the hiring because previous year I heard from one of the seniors they hired around 30. So everyone thought there was
because of
almost like
COVID.
50 for, yeah, 50-50 chance there was, but
16.
they hired a lot less now.
So that's approximately 6 to 7% of the people who give the test get selected.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, the surprising part was out of the 80, around 60 went to the HR round. So the bulk of the rejection happened for the HR round.
Okay, so
I don't know why.
44 people they rejected in HR.
Yeah,
Okay,
almost around that.
so we'll come
I
to
don't
again.
know.
We'll come to it. How
Yeah,
long? How long was your technical interview?
it was around 20 minutes. I would say 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, and can you tell us what were the first few questions asked by you, asked by the interviewer from you?
Yeah. So firstly, he was quite very senior, I guess, in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, he introduced himself, and then he asked, like, tell me about yourself. He asked this question. So I explained it, and then after that, I have done a research internship project on ML, and I am also I have the highest marks in my class. So I mentioned it in my intro. So he praised me for that I have such a good CGPA and everything. And then he asked me about the project, which I took time, I guess, from 7 to 8 minutes. I explained every detail about it, and then actually he asked me what are the applications of that project in real world, like what I can do with it in the future. And then actually he asked me about what are the languages I know.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him that C, Java, and Python, and he asked me to rate myself. So I rated at 7, 8 for all of them, and asked me like how long I have known them. So I told that I'm from ICC background, so we have been taught Java since class 8. C I've learned from college first year, and Python I've learned actually from the after the third year. So 1 year I've done Python. And so then actually I have in the lockdown I have started one YouTube channel for cooking recipes and all that
Mm-hmm.
for my mother. So he had my resume in from Superset platform. So he saw that, and he saw that there was written that I had a YouTube channel. So he asked me about it, like what is the channel about, and he found interest in it. I explained it. So he even searched in his laptop, like he opened YouTube and asked me what is the channel name. I told him, and he looked uh, he looked it up and everything. So it was a very casual conversation. So, and at the end, I think he asked me if I had any questions for him. So I asked him
So
what are the
he did not ask you anything from C, C++, and Python. Okay.
that was the surprising part.
I'll tell you the reason why. So we have been seeing this from the last 2 years. Companies really want to check, are you having digital skills? So, knowing basic languages is fine, but do you know
Yeah,
machine learning, blockchain, AI, front end web development, and so on and so forth? If you prove that, you are somebody who they can deploy directly into projects and you can start the coding from, let's say, first week. Again,
yeah,
1 week you'll take for learning syntax and all of that, right? So that's actually a pretty good thing, because we've seen the people who demonstrate all of those skills, they are not asked difficult questions from data structures, competitive coding, or C++,
yeah,
DBMS. The whole interview is upon that. Even my younger brother, who's gotten selected in KPMG, his whole 45 minutes interview was just upon machine learning, let's say
yeah,
first 15 minutes, right? And then the rest 30 minutes was just upon applications of it, right? So you
yeah,
don't have, you just have to have a conversation that, okay, self-driving,
yeah,
this first 15 minutes, again, technical things like logistic
yeah,
regression, clustering, k-means
yeah.
algorithm, regression tree, so on and so forth.
Even in my case, when I
Hmm.
was explaining him about the project, he asked questions in between, like why did you use this, why did you use that, why you didn't use this instead of this. So these
So
little
actually that's
questions
easy. People who learn know machine learning know that machine
yeah.
learning is easier than to learn maybe Python.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good. ठीक है. Then again, what were the things that were asked in the HR round?
Yeah, so HR, the first thing she asked was how was the technical round,
Mm-hmm.
and if I faced any difficulty in joining this and that one. Then she asked me about what are the challenges I faced. HR round was very quick. I think at most it lasted for about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked me about any challenges which I faced. I talked about my internship. I tried to keep all of my answers related to academics and everything. So first she asked me about the challenges. I told about the internship, like when I went for the internship, I didn't know machine learning at all. So I had to first learn machine learning in 1 week for the research
Mm-hmm.
internship and then implement it. So that was one of the challenges. Then she asked me about the any memorable moment in my life.
Okay.
So I mentioned that after the internship, I was told to write one research paper. So
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it, and it actually got published in a book and is available online on Springer platform. So I mentioned about that seeing my name on a book cover, and all the pages it is written by my name. So it was a memorable moment for me and my family. Then she asked me about any achievement. So I found it a little similar. So questions, memorable moment and achievement. So I mentioned about the time when I scored very well in my boards exam, like I got 97% in ICSE and 97.5 in ISC. So seeing the happy faces of my family members, so it was a big thing for me. So I told about that. Then she asked me if there was any conflict ever in any case, and I took the decision against like people. So I told her that after my 10th, actually, ICC, since I scored very well, and look, like in my family there is no doctor, so my family members wanted me to become a doctor, and like take biology and pursue that. But I literally had no like interest in biology and to be a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked computer science. I wanted to study about it. So that was a conflict between me and my family members, and I decided to pursue with my decision. And I didn't take biology in my for my 11th, and I took computer science and pursued with it.
Okay.
So I told about that.
So
Then,
I'll tell you,
yeah,
the reason why you were selected, right? So again, you answered all the questions very truly. So, for
yeah,
example, the biology questions and all. So,
yeah,
actually, a lot of people create out fake experiences, which is fine.
yeah,
Like, let's say something related to college project, something related
yeah,
to maybe college fest, or some group, assignment, etc., etc. Your was
yeah,
very unique. So, this is what the HR liked, I think. The second thing
yeah,
is, what I also personally feel is you are very soft spoken.
yeah,
uh, so this was also one of the factor, which is why a lot of people were rejected in again. So even though every stage is an elimination round, but the scores from the first, second, third, fourth written test, the technical, and then the HR, the elimination happens upon the sum of individual sum of each round.
yeah,
Right. So let's say people who got rejected in HR would have also gotten rejected, maybe because they scored a little less
in technical.
in let's say the written round, but
Okay.
scored good enough to clear the cutoff at that time.
Yeah,
Right. So, constant again, most of these companies do this to avoid. So, this is done to avoid so that, favorism. So, let's say some interview is favoring some particular student just because he's from the same city or he likes him or her in terms of the experience. So, again, just to avoid all of that, this happens.
yeah, very
ठीक है,
much.
Swarnava, that was really good talking to you. I hope all of the people who are hearing this, would have gotten some good insights from it. Right.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Got it.